It's Liam with Lovely Scrappin', and I'm here with the completed configuration box, and this box was made custom for one of my 10,000 subscriber giveaway winners, and that was for prize number 5. So if you guys remember my giveaway, I had just a Tim Holtz configuration box, and I mentioned that the winner of this would get a custom made configuration box made by me. So this is the completed configuration box for Maureen, and she is the Nanny B11, I think it is. I'll post her YouTube channel down below. So I'm going to post this video once she's received it, so you guys can go ahead and check out her channel and show her some love. And I think she mentioned she was going to record a video of her opening it, so I'm super excited to watch that. So anyways, Maureen, I really hope you like this. I did put in a lot of fun little custom things in there to really personalize it for her. So first of all, the paper line that I used was Romantique. She did mention that she loves Graphic 45, so I used this paper line here. I used this 8x8 pack as well as the 12x12 papers, and I also used some Recollection. Let's see, I'll show it. This is just a scrap of it, but it's the Recollection just paper. It comes in a few different patterns from Michaels. She did mention that she loves like pinks and vintage, and she's got a mannequin or a dress form in her room that is black with like polka dots, so I really wanted to incorporate the polka dot theme in there as well. So I'll just kind of give you a quick overview of this, and then I will sort of bring it up closer so I can go through each part a little bit more in more detail. So this is the front, and as you can see, there's the Tim Holtz what do you call them, the feet, box feet there. I used for the bottom that I altered to make more gold. There's the sides of it. There's the polka dot paper you can see. And I got lots of chain on here and lots of fun charms. And then the back is the card, and I will do a separate video on this, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like on there. But this is an envelope that I sort of it was a lot bigger and I made it smaller so that this card would fit in there perfectly, and it just slips into here. And then if I just go like this, you can see some of the chain coming out the holes that I punched in here, and I put eyelets in, and the side here. And again, I'll go into more detail describing the charms and all kinds of stuff in here. But that's just the quick overview, and then of course the bottom is I put my handmade sign back there, just on the very bottom. So what I had done was I painted, like I put in the boxes the way I wanted them to go, and then I painted all of the boxes black, like inside, the entire inside black, and all along the edges black, because of course the configuration box comes as like a craft kind of natural color. And after I had painted that, I put in the papers in the background from the Graphic 45 Les Romantique collection, and then I adhered the papers to the outside, all the outside walls of it, and I created this cabinet sort of a look. So as you can see, it's sort of got, it's an on the edge die. Let me see if I can, I used this on the edge die here, and I was inspired to create this sort of a cabinet look here from Anne, and she is Xenero1 on YouTube, and I'll post a link to her YouTube down below. She's absolutely amazing. You guys have probably already heard of her. If you haven't, go check her out because she's absolutely amazing. And I remember seeing a project that she had done a while ago, and she had sort of created sort of like a cabinet look with the on the edge die. So I wanted to use that on the edge die, and then I sort of just free-handed the rest of it, and then I made little sides as well. So this is all made out of chipboard, and the sides kind of go up to here, and then I put little Graphic 45 hinges on there. But anyways, what I wanted to mention was after I put all my papers on everywhere, I sealed everything with Mod Podge matte medium, and that just gives it a nice good seal, and including the back papers in there, and it just gives it a nice look. So that's what I did there. The back, so when I mentioned I created the this here, I used a piece of chipboard that's about this wide because I had to run it through my Sizzix, and then I combined the bottom half with another piece of chipboard to make it look like it was one piece, and I just layered it with one smooth piece of paper so it looks like it's just one piece of chipboard. And I had to do that because this whole piece of course won't feed through the Sizzix Big Shot machine when you're trying to put in the on the edge die. So that's how I achieved that look, just using a medium weight chipboard I got from Joanne online. And after everything was sealed, you can see here I went through with some rub and buff. I don't know if you guys can make it out with the lighting, but you can kind of see how I sort of antiqued it out with rub and buff. So I've done that all around it, all along the edges, all on the metals as well to make it sort of coordinate. Lots of rub and buff everywhere, so lots of gold, and all on the feet too of these. These were more like a gunmetal silver, and I rubbed a lot of gold rub and buff on there to sort of coordinate with the gold, kind of a metal color I've got going on in this. Okay, so I'm going to kind of start up at this top corner. I apologize in advance for the lighting, you guys. It's just been a rainy day, pretty much a rainy week, so no day is really a good day to record this, so I'm really trying to let in as much light as I can through the window, and of course a configuration box with the depths, it's really hard to video or record the insides and everything, but I'll do my best to explain, and I have taken some pictures, so hopefully those will show in a little bit more detail. Okay, so what I've done was for this here, I made like this cute little easel kind of a thing out of just popsicle sticks, and I'll show you one of these long popsicle sticks. They're like they're actually not popsicle sticks, sorry, they're like the coffee stir sticks. That's what they are. And I just, that's kind of hard to make out, but you guys can kind of see it's sort of like a little easel with the 3 sticks, and I used like this twine, sort of a string to wrap up the ends, and adhered it with a little bit of hot glue to hold it in place. And then I put one of those little hinge clips from Tim Holtz up top, rubbed it with some gold rub and buff, and I cut out this beautiful image from the Graphic 45 Les Romantique collection, and I put it on one of the fragment tags from Tim Holtz. and you know, use the glossy accent to adhere it on there. I rubbed it very slightly with Rub and Buff along the edges of this, and I put a little I Am Rose flower here and just added a few hearts. This is a charm that I got, so I just kind of hung it there, and I thought it looked kind of cool, like a portrait on top of an easel. And then hiding sort of in the back, I just sort of put a keyhole, metal keyhole there. Sorry it's dark, you guys, and I've got some black lace coming out, and I've got this domino piece here that I rubbed with Rub and Buff. I cut out this piece here from the paper collection that says Les Romantique, and what I've done with the this here is one of those clock embellishments from Michaels in their, what is it, I think in Canada it's a $3 bin, but I think it's $2 in the States. And I put, I distressed the inside with some vintage photo and then put a thick layer of, not glossy accent, but that Dimensional Magic. Let me just get it here for you guys. The Mod Podge Dimensional Magic. This stuff works the same way. It's a little bit runnier, so it's really good for the deep, sort of, the deep things like bottle caps and stuff. So I try to conserve my glossy accent because I go through that stuff like crazy. So anyways, I use that, and then I adhere these little tiny flat back pearls in the little holes, because it comes with just plain where you can put rhinestones or pearls or whatever you want in there. So I put these little tiny pearls in there, and then I took this long piece of chain I had and I sort of wind it in there, and then I made, sorry it's hard to do this, I've made holes like I mentioned, one here and one on the other side as well, and I put a gold eyelet in there, and I just have the chain coming out of each side around, and each one sort of just tucks in the corner underneath some of the embellishments, so that's sort of where it ends. So that's what I did there. And then I added, sorry it got dark, I added this little wood spool here, and I wrapped some black twine around it and put a little safety pin in there that I alcohol inked, and pretty much any metal that was silver I alcohol inked with the caramel alcohol ink. This stuff here, I love using this. It's awesome to sort of make any kind of silver metal more antique looking. So I did that as well. I used the alcohol ink to the silver part of the Tim Holtz light bulb that I used there. And then I added one of the bead landing screws, and I just sort of plopped it into the hole of the wood spool there. And then this is just a big Michaels key, and it was already sort of distressed like this, so I didn't have to do anything. It's very like copper gold, sort of rustic looking. So that's what I've done there. And going along here, I took some Scrabble tiles and just spelled out inspire, because that's a word I love, because it's something I always strive to do. I always want to try help inspire others as they have inspired me. So I put that there, and I distressed it with vintage photo as well as some Rub and Buff. Yeah, it's a little grungy looking, but that's what it is. It's the antique gold Rub and Buff. I think I got this in the States at Joanne, but now I can't find it, so I'm trying to find other colors of gold and silver and Rub and Buff, and I can't find it anywhere, so I might just have to shop online as usual. So anyway, I did that to all of the Scrabble tiles, and they're all quite you know, sort of dimensional, different angles. And then in here I've got a little book I made with some book page paper and then the designer paper, and it's all distressed as well. And actually I did do a tutorial on like how I've made these you know, these rolled roses right here, the book page rolled roses, and what I do with the leftover stuff. I give a quick tip on how to use the leftover stuff to make books, so I can post that link below, you guys, for my rolled book page flower tutorial, and you can see quickly how I sort of just put together the pages of the books. It's pretty simple. And then I've got a couple more books here. You can kind of see there. So it's kind of cute. I like the little stack book look. And then I've got a flower, just a paper flower back there, a couple vials. Then this one here is just like a message in a bottle. And again, I distressed the vials with some of the caramel alcohol ink, so they look a little bit more antique looking. And this one's hard to see, but there are some bolts or some screws in there, and some pearls and all kinds of stuff. And then I just tied some nice seam binding there. And this here's just a nice strand of pearls I put sort of weaving in and out of everything. And then I've got some real antique, what do you call it, ruler tape that I just added there. And I've also added rub and buff to it to make it look a little bit more antique. And let me just lower my camera. Oh, actually, before I do that, I'm going to describe the side here. So for this, I created a charm, and I just added a garment pin to the keyhole that I put up top. And then I've got just some charms. I put in some random charms. I took some beads from my stash and just, you know, made this little metal thing to hook up charms to. And I've got this pretty much all of the gold, like the little leaf, the little phone. No, did the phone come? I can't remember if the phone did or not. The heart, the feather, and this tassel here all came from this awesome charm bracelet sort of thing that Becca Crafts.Cupcake sent in one of our swaps. I absolutely love it, Becca. So I've been using a lot of those charms, and this one here is a bead landing clock spinner sort of thing. So anyways, that's the little charms I got on that side. And then again, this is Graphic 45's little hinges. You guys can see I put hinges on both sides. Let's see if I can focus here. So, and then again rubbed with some gold rub and buff. Alright, let me just adjust the camera and we'll go down to the next little area here. Okay guys, so this one is really hard to see, so I'm just going to take my little flashlight and cheat. So I'm going to just sort of shine the flashlight in there so you can kind of see that I've put in one of those breeze, what do you call them, tokens or whatever from Tim Holtz. I created this clothespin here, just distressing it and adding some of the recollection paper up at the top. Added a pearl bead there, and then you can just sort of see this. Sorry, the light. Oh, it's terrible. That's one of those thimble things that you put on your thumb for sewing. I just kind of distressed it a bit with some alcohol ink as well and put it there. So that's pretty much that box. And did I put any? No, I didn't put any lace. This here is just a piece from the Tim Holtz die. This one here, what's it called? Hardware Findings. So it comes like that. So I just used that piece there, just with some medium weight chipboard, and I did some crackle technique on it. I just painted it with black first and went over with crackle medium and then with an antique white. Oh my goodness, sorry, acrylic paint. I'm so tired. And then I rubbed all the edges with rub and buff, put in some brads here just to sort of finish it off. In the next little cubby, I've added some of this gorgeous lace, and let me see if I got a piece here to show you. It's from the Piece by Piece. It's absolutely beautiful. It's this gorgeous like vintage pink, so it went very well with this paper collection and the theme I was doing. So I put that on the bottom there. I added this cute little bird cage just to a little one of those little hooks that you can screw into the walls or whatever, and so I just added it to that so it would dangle. And then this is an actual real vintage pen nib that I found from an antique store, and I just kept it its natural vintage rustic looking color. You guys can kind of see it's very grungy. And then here I just created an open book using some, this was a piece I fussy cut from the paper line. I apologize you guys for the shadow. This is very hard to record with this lighting. And then I took a few book pages and then I used some black cardstock for the cover. That's what I did in that one. And then this beautiful Victorian style boot was from Saw Crafters and a rack she gave me for Christmas. Thank you so much, Saw. I could not pass it up for this project. It had to go in here. Part of the meaning behind this for Maureen is the Victorian style in the story that she had shared with me with her mother-in-law. And so I thought that after I sort of listened to that story, I thought it would be very cool to put a boot in here like that. And then I added a Tim Holtz tassel just to the side here, and then added little I Am Roses flowers there, and then there are some feathers I just sort of put inside the boots there. So You just sort of poke up the top. I thought that was kind of cute. And then the inside is just a chest piece and some gears. And for the bottom here, I just put, this is some more, this tassel trim here is from the Piece by Piece as well, from Bev's store, and she's got some different colors in that, and this is that beautiful peach pink color, so I thought that would go really well as well with this collection. So I added it there, and then added some black flatback pearls, and I'm noticing some glue strands, sorry, I thought I got them all. Black flatback pearls here. And then here is some braid trim I got from Misty, and she's MB Treasurista, and I will post a link to both Beverly's store, the Piece by Piece, and MB Treasurista's store and Sawcrafter's store down below, you guys, because I used lots of goodies from them. And so I added that beautiful piece there. This is just a vial that I added some lace and some pearls in there, and then just tied it up with some excess canvas that I had, that I just torn off canvas. I just tied it with that, and then added some pearls and some screws that I altered the screws with the caramel distress ink. And here's some daisy sort of pearl trim that I have going all the way down to the bottom. And then in this one, hopefully you guys can see, if not I will take my flashlight. So I've got one of my rolled ribbon roses there in the corner, and on the side there you can see a film strip kind of thing of the designer paper I fussy cut, and the little iron roses up at the front with a pearl and a little key charm, and that's like one of those bobbins for the sewing machine, and then one of the pieces at the back are also for helping to thread your needle for sewing. And then you can see that antique ruler going along the side. So that's that one, and then we'll go over here. For this one here, what I have done, let's see if I turn this light off, if this gets any better. Okay, sort of. Okay, so what I've done here is 5 was a number of significance to Maureen, so I wanted to add the number 5 in there. So it's one of those Tim Holtz numbers. I distressed it up with some of the caramel distress ink. I put it on this metal plaque I had in my stash, and I also distressed that up a little bit as well. And then this chest piece is a glass chest piece that was clear, like a foggy glass kind of color, and I distressed that with some caramel distress ink as well. And then I added a little cameo earring and another rolled rose that I had made, added a pearl to it, another little mini wood spool, and I just wrapped some ball chain around it, and I sort of weaved it around that and then kind of went sort of behind the chest piece. And then this is a nice big flower, and I actually sprayed that flower. It's from Iron Roses, and it was white, and I wanted it more vintage kind of cream, so I sprayed it with the Lindy's Stamp Gang Starburst spray. This one is Clam Bake Beige. I apologize, you guys, I'm just getting over my cold and my throat is getting very dry. So that's the Clam Bake Beige I used for that. Beautiful, beautiful color. And I forgot to mention, I also stained the wood of this little easel that I made right here at the very top. I used the dark chocolate truffle because it was a brown sort of, it used to be just the popsicle stick natural wood, and I just distressed it with dark chocolate truffle to make it look a little bit more stained and a little bit of shimmer. So I love the way that looked too. Sorry guys, I forgot to mention that I'm all over the place. So that is that little pocket. This next one, I've got this beautiful clock charm I got from a swap from Becca, Craftstock Cupcakes. And I'll post a link to her YouTube channel as well, you guys. She also gave me this charm piece. It was like an earring set sort of a thing, and so I used it there. This is just a block I got. I had in my stash, and it's A, and A is for Amber, and that is Maureen's granddaughter's name, so she's a very special part of Maureen's life, so I added that there, and some pearls, and this is another garment pin, and I just sort of hung the garment, like I glossy accented the arm garment pin to this piece here, and hung the charm. And you guys, most of the stuff in here is all adhered with glossy accent because it just holds so well. And it's also got this really fine tip to it, so it is really easy to do like little tiny places. Okay, so in the very back, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see, but it's this huge bolt, like this huge honkin' bolt, and I I distressed it with alcohol ink and added book paper to it. Sorry you guys, let me see. Okay, you can kind of see it there. You can see the book page paper I put on it in the corner. So that's that. And then this one, while I have my light, I'll just shine it in here. This is one of those typewriter embellishments from Michaels, and it was silver. They didn't have any of the gold ones at the time when I went there, so I distressed it again with caramel distress ink, or sorry, caramel alcohol ink, and I then covered it with black acrylic paint and then wiped away the acrylic paint so that the black would stay inside the keys, you know, where the typewriter keys are and stuff. And then I just added some chain to kind of hang off of it, added a fussy cut flower in the corner, and then I added some paper that I typed this up. Sorry. And it says, Dear Amber, I love you to the moon and back. And that is a special quote that, or a little sentiment that Maureen gave me, that she says to her sweet little granddaughter every night before bed. So I wanted to put in that. So I typed it up from the computer, distressed the paper, and wanted it to look like it was coming, like as if we typed it from, you know, somebody typed it from the typewriter and it was coming out of the typewriter. So that's what I did there. And then I've got some lace, and this is from Bev as well, from the Piece by Piece. And I just sort of bunched it up and have it coming out in random spots. And then the last little cubby here, I've got M, of course, for Maureen's initial, and then I've got a light bulb back there, and then a little dress form because she does like dress forms and vintage style. So I just sort of took a little dress form, put it in there, added some lace around the body, some chain, and I did paint the dress form because it was a chipboard piece. And I painted it with black acrylic paint and then rub and buffed it. And then there's an iron rose flower there, and then some pearls. So that is pretty much it, you guys. That's for the little cubbies. And then just I'm going to talk about this side here because this has some significance to it as well. So this is just a clock key from Tim Holtz, and I do have a screw coming from the inside poking in, and I've screwed it on, but to reinforce it I also put some glue in there, and then I covered up the edges so that the glue wasn't showing with this flower. And these are from Prima from the Almanac collection, so that worked really well with that. And then I just added this little charm thing I put together, and this is just, I think this is a bead landing frame, and I just altered it with some caramel distress ink again, and then fussy cut an image from the paper collection and put it in there. And then these three here, so this is all to sort of symbolize Maureen's mother-in-law who had passed away a while ago, and she had made a video, and she shared the video with me, and she was just describing, you know, a story, and just a very meaningful story about her mother-in-law. So I put her mother-in-law's initials here, and again on a little, what do you call it, fragment charm, and I actually cut these little letters from the Almanac paper collection, the 6x6 pad. They have really tiny little letters, so I thought that worked perfectly. And then I've got Almanac paper in the background as well, and I finished off the back with some of the recollection paper, and then I put Mod Podge on the back of that, so it just sort of is nice and sealed. And then in part of what she was describing in her little story, she mentioned tea time that she loved to have with her mother-in-law. So I've got this beautiful morning tea, I think she called it. Anyway, I've got this beautiful little teapot charm that says tea time on it, so I put that on there. And also also her mother-in-law, she loves hats, so I took this hat charm, which I thought was so cute. It's got like this little sort of bow sort of a look on it, and anyways, it was silver, and I distressed it with gold and caramel. So there's a gold mixative one here, and I distressed it with that, as well as the caramel distressing, or caramel alcohol ink that I showed previously. And I rubbed a little bit of black acrylic paint on there as well to get it to look a little bit more antique rather than silver. And so that's the significance to this charm little thing here. I thought that was sort of something sweet to put there to help her remember her mother-in-law. So I hope you like that little bit, Maureen. And then in the back, like I mentioned, I have the card, and because this video is going to be so long, I just decided I'll do the card in a separate video. So I'll post the link to the card that I made, which is right here, that slides right in here. I'll post a link to me describing how I created this down below. But what she can do is she can keep the card in here if she likes, or she can put little, you know, bits of tags and memories and stuff of, you know, her granddaughter, her family, her mother-in-law, you know, whatever she wants, she can put little things in there. So I got the idea to add something to the back also from Anne, Zanero1 on YouTube. So thank you so much, Anne, for your inspiration for the envelope on the back, as well as this gorgeous cabinet, sort of a tight border up at the top. So I really like the way that turned out. So anyways, you guys, that is pretty much it. I hope I described everything clearly. I apologize. I am a little bit scramble brain today. So anyways, Maureen, I really hope you like this. You know, I hope you enjoy the meaning that I put behind it. I forgot to mention as I'm looking at it, this is just a zipper piece that I put here. You guys could probably tell. And I also put lace here that I had in my stash. But anyway, see, I always find something I forgot to mention, but I'm sure you all get the gist of it. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, you guys, and let me know if you have any questions at all. Take care and happy scrapping. Bye now.